Alrighty, you guys. Because I opened up our 20 and 30 call, all I'm going to tell you right now is for the next 12 weeks, Jessica and I are teaming up. We're going to do all of our team calls together, Team Win and Dreamers in Action. And we worked so well together in the beginning of end of 2013, beginning of 2014, when we were running together. And we said we are going to make 2018 just the record year for both of our teams, and we're going to partner and just put our strengths and our love for each other and our love for Isogenics and our love for each other's teams together and do these calls together. But since I opened up last week, I want to bring Jess out just to really kick off the call and get us going, and then I'll close it out at the end.
Awesome. All right, guys. So good seeing you all jumping on. I love it. So our team is doing a little 15-minute, 6:45 to 7 a.m. little jump start of the day. And it's one product tip and one business.
Before.
Is that Brad McFall?
It says Brad's. Brad us.
Oh, Settle, yeah.
Jen and Carrie, can you mute, please? Thanks.
So I'll tell you that what I found, guys, is how you start the day impacts how you execute the day. And so here we are 1 week down into 20 and 30. And activity's been happening for a lot of people. But guess what? What I've found the most in this business, and I've told a lot of people, when I declare goals to the world, everything starts working against me to make sure that I stay in the same place. Because your unconscious, subconscious mind wants you to stay where you are. You're comfortable here. So I promise you, if you guys have declared it, can you guys just give me a show of hands? Anybody that's encountered some serious challenges, whether circumstances of life, no's, real hardcore rejections, have you guys felt that? And here's what I want to tell you. You should seriously, just right now, take a second and feel gratitude for that, because it means that the world knows you're freaking serious. The only time you get stop signs, the only time you get a yield sign, the only time you get like knocked out, punched in the face, kind of like objections, distractions, is when you're serious. So you should feel that, because that means that deep down you have a core commitment to this. And I want to tell you that you look at Lauren and me, and I will tell you what, the good news is that we want to be transparent with you guys, but we've always been really transparent with each other. During our build, I know that we were serious, because I remember saying to Janny, I just want to take time and read a book. Like, I want to lay on the couch and read a book. And guess what? I'm going to tell you guys something. I had this app. I hate TV and I don't like apps. So I'm like your ultimate person for not being distracted. But my kids introduced me to this app called Alpha Bears. And I do love a good word game. And Alpha Bears is like calling my name on this darn phone. Is that not crazy? Someone who doesn't like TV, and I hate like phone games or any video games, but I know that the world knows I'm serious, because I'm thinking to myself, I could just take 5 minutes and play Alpha Bears, but nobody plays Alpha Bears for 5 minutes. It sucks you straight in. The other thing that you find yourself doing is you say, listen, I'm going to get to work. I'm going to do some good work here. And we have a fun job because our marketplace rests on social media. In a lot of cases, you've got a really fun job and it lives on Facebook. And so what happens for people that declare their commitment, but allow themselves to get stuck into a vortex of it ain't happening for you, there's a couple things that I've seen people do. They go on Facebook and they get distracted by a shiny object. There's a video of a meowing cat. Look, Susie got new sneakers. I got to put a like on so-and-so's post because they had a sniffle. So listen, you can easily get sucked down this rabbit hole of social media. And then the second thing people do is they start looking at other people's life, forgetting that how it's the highlight reel, and they start comparing. And then they get like, oh, I'm not good enough. This person, of course they're successful. Look at Laura Stevens, she's perfect. Well, Lauren and I know Laura. She's not perfect, but she has a beautifully crafted social media image. Don't believe the hype. Here are Lauren and I are showing up, no makeup, sweatshirts. Let me tell you something. When I talk to other top leaders on Zoom at night at this time, the people who look the most beautifully manicured, their husbands are yelling in the background. We're wearing these kind of clothes. We don't have makeup on. And this is real life. And guess what? We don't look any differently than you guys. We don't have any different doubts or insecurities than you do. It's just, this is the time when declare meets the road. It's the time when you have to hurdle over top of distractions and say, I am going for it. Going for it. So week 1 is down. And I don't care what you've done, but I know the simple art of connecting with more people is going to change your business. People are at this point in the game of the year serious about change, ready to make massive change. And it takes really your declaration to the world to be so serious that you're willing to overcome the first part. If you follow Healthy Mind and Body, they call that deception. We get into inception. We're all excited. Last week, weren't we excited? A lot of people on the call. We're excited. We're doing this. I'm going to contact 30 people a day, daily method of operation. And then if you were serious, this week should have been really hard. You should have got a bunch of no's. If you got yeses, cool, because you talk to more people than most people. If you got a bunch of no's, if you're like somebody in your family was mean to you, you felt like you were on the phone too much, kids were looking at you, you're looking at other people thinking they did better, this person made more money, this person has more of a better upline than me, a downline than me, I can't create builders. You know what? Honestly, the week should have been hard. The talk, you need to shut it off and you need to create your own talk. So here's the thing that we do. We either can listen to the soundtrack that our subconscious mind will play in our head. Generally, unless you're Oprah, it says, I'm not good enough. I don't think I'm cut out for this. I should just stay where I am. That's a lot of the soundtrack that's in our heads, no matter what, if it's weight loss or if it's money. You need to talk to yourself instead of listen to yourself. So when you talk to yourself, you say what Janie was saying last week, I am powerful. I create income wherever I go. I'm a magnet for money. People with massive influence are attracted to me in droves. I can barely handle the number of prospects that I have. And so when you're using your attraction, it becomes a magnet. When you're leveraging it, it can truly become a magnet. You'll be shocked at who shows up. I am powerful. I am a magnet for money. I am attracting builders in such degree I can barely keep up with the flow. I'm overwhelmed by the amount of builders that are coming to me, seeking to change their life and ready to work. Can I be honest with you guys? I go to Orange Theory, and if you've ever done it, you are doing cardio for a good portion of it, and you look at a mirror while you're running on a treadmill. And it really sucks for me. I'm not great at cardio. It's not my favorite. But I spend almost the entire time going, I am amazing. And I don't know, sometimes I say it out loud and people next to me are like, okay, girl, go girl. I am amazing. I am maxed out. My friends are maxed out. Yeah. I'm looking at myself in the mirror, sweaty, hating life, but I am amazing. I'm powerful. It's the best 30 minutes. It's a guaranteed attraction statement because honestly, I'm not thinking about how much time is left, how fast I'm going. I'm thinking about that. And guys, you have screen time. You have windshield time. You have mirror time. You're shaving your face. You're brushing your teeth. You're washing your jowls. You're doing whatever you're doing. You got time. Tell yourself, talk to yourself, and don't listen to yourself because this is go time. This is when we really, truly say, are you going to do it? Because don't fulfill a prophecy that says, like, I let myself down before. I never had 20 enrollments in a month. This is the time that you're going to do it. And then every other month when you do it, you're going to point back to this month and go, that's when I did it. January 2018, the first time, the second time, the fourth time, that I enrolled 20 people in 30 days, and it changed my life. It changed my business. It impacted legions of people. Legions of people. So, Laura, I'm not looking at our agenda to see. I think that I'm going a little bit in a different direction.
It's good. You're totally fine. I think that we just but I mean where the attention goes, like you've nailed. I think the other thing that would be great for you to chat about is just that whole like managing the mindset and weathering the emotions piece of things.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, perfect. So that's the key. Who is gonna outlast the next person? Like on this call, there are people that will become Isogenics millionaires, and then there are people who will quit. And we talked about this last week. Like, it's okay. You give yourself permission if it's not for you, but I challenge you to step into your greatness, right? And the way that you step into massive greatness in this. Because honestly, I promise you, you are no different than Jimmy Smith, than me, than Holly DeMott, than Emily and Hayden. You're no different. Literally think about it. They put pants on, they put shirts on, they have runny noses, they don't smell good a lot of days. Like, it's regular freaking people that are just like you. And so when I challenge you to step into your greatness, what I want to challenge you most about is it becomes the winner of this game is the person who learns to manage their mindset. So Peter Vashanoo, who's on our team, amazing person, incredible, well-known, super reputable plant. Like, I'm not going to say this correctly, but he's an event planner in Philadelphia. But when I say event planner, I mean, if you have $1 million to spend on a wedding, he's the person that you'd call, and he may or may not accept your work. But he gave that up to do Isogenics full time. And what he was saying today was that he got a really hard no. You guys gotten a hard no before? Somebody who's just like nasty no? He got a hard no, and he said it would have paralyzed him before. It would have kicked him out of the game. But he's someone who, it's like Peter 2.0, where he's learned to control his emotions. And when you learn to see, so how do you do that? Like, what are ways that we can harness our emotions? Well, he pointed this out, and he said, it's the person and not me. So you divorce their reaction from anything about, why are we always making things about ourselves? I was just talking to one of our top leaders, and I was saying to her something someone in corporate America said to me once, and I remember it hurt my feelings, but now it became one of the greatest lessons. He said, Jessica, I promise you, people aren't thinking about you. You're only thinking about yourself. They're not thinking about you. I remember being really mortified about something I had done and like just focusing on it, and then being like, I promise you, people are thinking about themselves, not about you. They're thinking about their own blunder, their own success, their own goals, their own whatever. They're not thinking about us, right? So I promise you, if that's the case, and I've seen it again and again, then people's response isn't about us. It's about them. Someone who says a hard no, guys, like, you better look at them, and you better like want to lay hands on them. You want to baptize them with love, because you know what? Their hard no isn't at you. It's at something else. Their own disappointment and how they've shown up, the fact that they don't have something to ask you about, the fact that they haven't bettered their life, the fact that they keep putting off saying yes, the fact that they are just not where they want to be. And that's who they're talking to, themselves. They're literally like me at Orange Theory, looking in the mirror, responding negatively to the person that let them down, and that's them, not you. So when you divorce yourself completely from their outcome, I will not own your success, and I will not take credit for your failure. Neither. I will not take credit for your yes or your no. It isn't about me. And I believe sharing this product isn't about us either. If you believe, you truly believe that you have a gift that will bless people, guys. Like, do you believe this product blessed you? I'm guessing if you're on this call, you're like me, you're a raving fan of this product. Do you look around in your personal network and see that there are people who are literally miserable, who are suffering in silence, who are crying, who right now just are so ugly on the inside, just feeling so down and crushed and disappointed in how life is? This is a gift. And if you make it about other people, no one can let you down. I've used this example many times. I worked in a restaurant. Some people probably wish that they probably know the story I'm going to tell, but the restaurant I worked in was called Cavada's. And at Cavada's, this very old Pennsylvania Dutch woman made the apple pie. And I'm telling you, the apple pie was bananas. She wasn't going to be living, God bless her, she lived to almost 100 years old, but she was a very old woman to be making apple pie. So I knew every time I went to a table and I said, hey guys, you had a great meal. Would you like to see the dessert menu? I know what I have to offer them. The apple pie that won't be here probably the next time you come. And guess what? When they said no, I'm stuffed, ate too much, not tonight, maybe next week, I'm cool, baby. It ain't gonna offend me or hurt my feelings. I have a gift to offer you. You don't want to accept it? You know what? Next table. Would you like to see a dessert menu? We save room because we know how good it is. Well, thank you very much. And that feels great. but I'm not going to allow myself to be upset because that person ate too much. Do you see where there's a correlation? We have something great to offer and we know how good it is. The other person may or may not know what the value is that you're offering. You can't be upset. You can't let it take you out of the game. You have to remember Peter, who didn't let it just upset his whole day. Because guess what? When you let it upset your whole day, that person, it doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter, right? So you give someone that kind of power to control your entire day, to change your reach outs. Now you're someone who declared, you looked at Lauren and I and you said, I'm going for 20 and 30. Lindsay, you told me get my pen ready because I'm writing you the extra check. You told me that. And I use Lindsay as an example because she has declared it so with such certainty. And I love that. Get your pen ready. You should feel that kind of certainty. You feel Lindsay Hansen kind of certainty. And that's the kind of certainty you should feel. Get your pen. You should tell Lauren, get your pen ready. But what I will say is if she allows one person's negativity, one person who's mad or disappointed in themselves to take her out of the game, then she lets down not just herself, not just the commitment that she made to me, but she lets down a lot of people who woke up yesterday morning, today, they'll wake up tomorrow, desperate for what we have. And you're going to let somebody who's not even talking to you, who has nothing to do with you, whose response isn't about you, deny all these other people of something that could be amazing. Can you imagine if Jen Feichter never heard about Isogenics? Can you even imagine if Victoria or Karen hadn't heard about Isogenics? Rachel? Like how different their lives would be. There used to be a movie, there's a movie called Sliding Doors. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it. Gwyneth Paltrow was in it. Apple's mom. Gwyneth Paltrow's movie called Sliding Doors showed what exactly would happen if her life was just slightly different. And honestly, I want you to think about your life as sliding doors. So imagine that you never say yes to Isogenics. What would have happened? I know the train that I was on, and it would have continued down its tracks, I'm assuming. And honestly, that wasn't a great train. This is such a better place for me. And it's changed everything. Sliding doors. Just think about your life if someone didn't say yes. And then next time that you think you're going to keep your mouth closed, remember what your life would be like. But managing this emotion. So what you can do is you can divorce yourself of the outcome. You can divorce yourself of someone else's response. You can get an accountability partner to call and go, man, this sucks. Do I suck at this? Tell me if I suck. And the accountability partner is supposed to say to you, Lauren, you are amazing. Get in that mirror right now. You are amazing. You are strong. And somebody else builds you back up. I know so many of us have Denise Wiggins. Denise, you call Denise, you're like, you are strong. You are amazing. Get out there. And then she'll do her own, if you know her, she'll do her own affirmation statements while you're on the phone. So I'm in Denise Wiggins. I put my pants on. I'm good to go. That's like the kind of people you need in your life. Have you noticed? I was talking to, you guys know, if you're following what I'm doing in my build at all, I'm talking to a lot of network marketers, like really successful network marketers. We're all just people that are just connecting. Right? And so I was talking to a girl today that's been really successful in this company. And she was saying, have you noticed that the community of network marketers are just up-leveled humans? They're just like evolved human beings. They just get it. Surround yourself with people in network marketing if that's true. I personally think the people in Isogenics are up-leveled like nobody else. Surround yourself with people in network marketing. And that's the way to do it. If they're in a 20 and 30 group, they're amazing. Anybody who knows Kim Malmstrom just hit 1 star for the 3rd time. And people that know her, she is the most one-team individual that I've ever known in my life. She will do anything for you. She's the best accountability partner. She will out-enroll you. She will run like hell. I've never seen anything like it. But she has had to manage emotions. And I've never seen someone, she had a son who had a devastating illness. He's well. Instead of getting down, which anyone would have appreciated, right? What did she do? She started a foundation called Kyle's Quillos. So that's how you manage the emotion. You respond to negativity with positivity. Here's another idea, and then I'll turn it back to you, Lauren. But one of the things I want to tell you is when you get a hard no, give someone else a hard yes. Say yes to positivity. And take the hard no, and I want you to literally send a voice memo to somebody and just say, you're awesome. I just wanted to tell you, I love your posts. You're hilarious. You're so cute. Love the sweatshirt. Kicks, man, you look so good. You look flyer than fly. Say that to somebody. Turn your negativity and just watch how the energy flows. It shifts. It literally shifts like a kaleidoscope. No one can get me down. And then that is exactly what I want to close this with. And Lauren, I'm handing the baton to you because I know you got genius. I want you to get something in your mind that you say. It's literally like Rod Harrison will tell you if you're trying to switch a habit, you need to get something in your head that you just say. And so that's what you say is, I am a gift giver with an amazing opportunity in front of me. And that's what you say. I don't know what yours is that you say. I say this, I am fire. You think I don't say that? I say that exactly like that. I am fire. I got something great. You can't hold me down. No way. I'm not going to let Joey Bag of Donuts, who didn't feel like doing it and said like, oh, I can't stand these messages. Okay, Joey, sorry about it. Let's not chat again. Not a big deal. I am fire. It changes. I don't care what you say. Say something to yourself so your subconscious mind goes, she is serious. He is for real. This time, nothing can stop them. Get out of their way. Chris Marshall said he met Joey Bag of Donuts.
Oh my gosh, Jess, I'm like trying to type and listen to you. And if you guys aren't fired up, now this is why we get on live calls, because you're missing all this humor in the chat if you are not on here live. So you guys, I really, really appreciate you. I know especially as so many are flying out tomorrow and trying to get ready for NYKO. I just want to piggyback on a couple things that came to my head of what Jess said, and then I'm sure she'll do the same after the things I want to leave you with. But you know, there's been a couple times, like both Jess and I, because we understand personal development so much, and we understand that your language is going to change your physiology, you know, and the physiology is your feelings, and the feelings become actions of what's happening. There will be brief moments in time that like, she'll like text me and she's like, I don't even want to text you because if I text it, it's real, but I need to do it for like 30 seconds or something, right? Or she'll call and she's like, hey, I need like 30 seconds because I got to get it out and like whatever. And it's fast, just so that we're staying on track of the positivity and we're staying on track of being excited and motivated, that it doesn't take you down that downward spiral. Because sometimes, even though you don't want to acknowledge it, because saying it out loud makes it real, if you don't, then what could be 30 seconds is 30 minutes, 30 days. You know, for some of you, it's just that one thing that you've got to be able to have someone that can just check you and balance like that. And I'll do the same, or that thread that we're in. I'm like, all right, I need like a 30-second freak out. Like I just talked to someone who knows everything. They told me every awful thing about isogenics. Like someone convinced me that our products really work. You know what I mean? Like I came for the business. So every once in a while I need someone to be like, no, really, our products work. We came for the products, you know? And it's okay to have that. There's a book that changed my life in the very, 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 very beginning with isogenics called The 4 Agreements. And you've probably heard us talk about it, but if you've not, get it, download it. It's like a children's book. It's so simple. You can read it in like 20 minutes, but your 4 agreements, you know, to be impeccable to your word, do the best that you can, never take anything personally. I mean, when you can live your life by those 4 agreements, it will change everything, you know, because there's so many times someone will say something and I go, never take anything personally. Just like Jess is saying, you know, like that's on you. That's not on me. And the same way you can choose if you're showing up as a shield or a magnet to others, you also can choose if you want to be a shield or magnet to others. You know, you don't have to absorb everything everybody says or everything you hear. You have the opportunity to like push that back. So there's just a couple things that were, coming into my mind as she was saying. And the other is really when you're doing these affirmations, and it is awkward at first, and I don't like the, you know, fake it till you make it, because we're not trying to get you to fake it, but until it becomes more habitual, or, you know, until it becomes more natural, this belief, this posture, those power statements, that is one of the number one things that absolutely will distinguish the conversations compared to somebody else. More than what you're saying, it is truly, truly how you're saying and why you're saying it. And like Jess is saying, I've declared some audacious goals. Right now, I've talked to more people in 9 days than I've probably talked to in 90 days, in all honesty. And the majority have been no's. The majorities have been not now's. But I have left after every conversation, and this is in all honesty, you guys, more excited again about what I'm doing and than I've been in a really long time. Like I'm in that state of mind that I don't care if they're enrolling yet. I'm sharing the Isogenics gift. I am aligned with Jim and Kathy's mission, you know, and those are the things that make me feel really, really, really good. That sometimes when you lose sight of your why, and you get so attached to the outcome, it can take you out of the game. Where like the irony of this whole thing is because my posture is different and I'm coming from a place of service and I'm so fired up again. Normally I message people and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so nice to meet you. Is it okay if I add you to this group? I've actually left and I've had the message before I can message them and them going, oh my gosh, your energy is contagious. Like, I'm so glad I met with you. You're so passionate. If I find someone who wants to do isogenics, you're the first person I'm thinking of. You know, that even though they're not enrolling, it's like there was still a benefit of the meeting, and just to kind of keep that in the forefront of your mind. And this idea of you changing your state and you changing, you know, the focus or whatnot, it can happen instantaneously. And if you guys haven't listened to Tony Robbins, if you haven't listened to Rod Harrison, I mean, start putting this into your repertoire of personal development. But today's been one of those days. I'm not going to lie. I'm cleansing. I'm hangry. I'm PMSing. I'm freezing, right? I like this list of things I'm supposed to do before I'm off the grid for 5 days, and like definitely feeling overwhelmed, still trying to like message my entire downline about the welcome back promotion, going deep into the things. And everybody messaging me back is like, thanks, I'm good. I saw the email, I'm good, right? Like nobody's like signing up. It's just, I'm getting annoyed with people, and I didn't go shopping. I always go shopping before an event. I'm like, oh, I'm wearing everything I've already worn at an event. And I just was funky. And Rachel called me because we were supposed to do this 3-way call. And she's like, how are you? And I was like, I'm fine. She's like, you don't really sound fine, you know? And it was like in this delay while we were waiting for this guy to get on the Zoom call. And she didn't even know that I did this, but I was thinking, wow, I'm glad I'm not on the video right now. And I just called in, but I'm like doing my power move. And exactly like Jess says, I'm like, I'm a forcing to not be reckoned with. You're a badass. You change lives. I'm like doing it. And I'm like, change your state, change your state, change your state. And I'm sure she can tell you by the time the guy got on the phone, I sounded a lot different than it was just the two of us. And not that I was to be fake. I just had to get clear for a second that like my stuff doesn't matter. This guy doesn't care that I don't have a sexy dress to wear to corporate tomorrow. This guy has like one opportunity to maybe change his life with isogenics, and now you have a purpose. You know what I mean? And so in a second, you can just get clear on that. But here's a few things that I do daily or weekly or monthly that we're going to lay out for you, because I just am a type A person. I'm really organized. And I know a lot of you say, okay, this sounds great, but how do I do it? Or this sounds great. What is it that I'm actually doing? And I want to give you just a few of these tangible things that you literally can start implementing tonight. You can start implementing tomorrow morning. And a lot of you will look at this as busy work, but I assure you, if you're not doing it, you're not growing. If you are not focusing on where you're going, you are not moving that way. But if you start doing this and you are consistent with it, you're going to start to see the magic show up in your business. You know, anybody who ties, I don't think they're going to tell you the one time they donated, like they won the lottery. But the people that are consistent and consistent and consistent, they're going to tell you that they feel like they've been blessed with financial abundance or things that happen when they least expected, because that's the way it goes. The same thing as with the action steps that we're going to leave you with, the intentions or focusing on your mind and training your subconscious. Just because you write out your goals once, don't expect them to happen. You know, I told you guys the story. I had the sticky note on the little type pad here of my computer that said 5-star 100 cycles for over a year. It was 54 weeks from the time I wrote it until the time I actually saw 100 cycles in the back office. But eventually I got there. If I wasn't focusing on it, I wasn't going to keep growing. The night I hit 100 cycles, I ripped it off and I wrote 150. It might be another 54 weeks. It might be 4 weeks. But every time I'm typing, every email, every Facebook message, I look and it says 150 cycles, 150 cycles. Like the amount of times that messages is going into my head, because what you focus on, you find, right? So the first thing is your intention statements. Both Jessica and I learned this from Eric Coover. I believe it came from Peter Kelly originally. We do this consistently. And the times we have stopped doing it, we have stopped attracting in the things that we really, really want. And the statement goes like this: today, I allow myself to attract people that are, and you fill in the blank. You know, today I allow myself to attract people of influence. Today I attract myself or allow myself to attract burnt out moms who want to be fulfilled and want to get their sexy back. Today I allow myself to attract in people in corporate America that are unfulfilled, you know, exhausted from chasing the corporate ladder, and are organized, are motivated, are self-driven, you know, whatever it may be. But you're going to start to not only see those characteristics when you're out and about, that you're like, oh my gosh, that's the person. Jessica is the corporate person I'm looking for. Or what I've learned from Tony Robbins, and I believe wholeheartedly, is that you will either find it or it will find you. You get so clear on the people you want to work with and the people you want to serve, they're going to find you. all of a sudden these people are going to start showing up. You're like, oh my gosh, you're the burnt out mama that wants this. You're the girl who you're going to bring it in, but you have to get really clear on it. If you guys have never ever done Tony Robbins priming, he does it at Unleash Your Power Within. Janie sent me this link earlier in the summer. She's like, I want you to do this every day. And she's like, you got to do the breathing. And I was like, what is she talking about? And I was like trying to watch this YouTube video. And after I went to the event and I realized how powerful it was, you guys, this is something with like 98% accuracy I'm doing every single morning. Like I literally go to the gym, have my coffee, and I do it. And there's like 2 people that I'm holding myself accountable with every single day. But here's the thing, our subconscious is so powerful. And if you're not training it every single day, if you're not conditioning it, if you are not becoming a master of repetition and like really choosing what you're focusing on, you're going to go into old habits. And the old habits is everything the media has taught us to be afraid of. It's everything that leads to anxiety, leads to fear, leads to depression. It's things that we hear in music, on the radio, that people are talking about. That's how you're going to start to make decisions. That's how you're going to start to show up. That's the way your thoughts are going to go, unless you consciously do something about them, right? LeBron James is the best basketball player in the world. He's still doing free throw practice shots, right? It's not like you get to a point and you stop. Tiger Woods is one of the best golfers in the whole world. He's still working on his putt game, right? 2 millimeter difference. His whole swing could be totally different. He's still practicing. So just because you think you've heard this once, you don't stop practicing. You're gonna fall into old habits. And so the priming exercise, it starts with breathing to activate your physiology, and you focus on gratitude, you focus on service, like where you can pour love out to others, and then you manifest what you want. It takes 10 minutes, you guys. It's 3 minutes in every section, 1 minute of the breathing. But he literally says, if you don't have 10 minutes, you don't have a life. And he gives studies and studies and studies of examples at Unleash Your Power Within. But for example, there was like 2 groups of women that were going to take a test. The only difference was what was on the test booklet on the front of the cover. And the one that had a positive image, they had like 15% better test scores. And this was done over and over and over than the ones that had the negative image on the test booklet. They weren't even answering it. It just had to do with the first thing that they saw. So I find myself sometimes listening to music. And even if it's worship or even if it's country or I'm like getting ready, I'm like, no, it's like training myself, listen to a podcast. When I'm getting ready, I'm like, I really want to listen to Chris Tomlin. But as soon as I start listening to Tony Robbins, or today I was listening to that motivation link that Janie put out there, and I'm so excited. My brain's getting creative, right? I'm getting innovative. That doesn't happen to me when I listen to music. And as soon as I'm hearing someone, right? Because in order to inspire others, you have to be inspired. Just really train yourself. Like Jess said, the beginning of your day is really what's going to set your tone for the day. I have my whiteboard up. I know some of you have an office. I know some of you don't. But again, it's you focusing on where you're going. I'm looking at what I call to bless. I don't like to call them prospects. Like, who are the people we're going to bless? And I've got a list of names. So even though I'm sitting here and Jessica's talking, I'm looking at this list, right? If someone doesn't get on a 3-week call, I know who's going consultant, who's going manager, who's going director, who's hitting 5-cycle bonus, who's going 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, who's working towards Maui, whatever it is. And you're looking at it, because it's going to start to make decisions that you're not even consciously aware that you're making those decisions. For whatever reason, if I look at Alex's name 80 times a day, guess what? I'm probably at some point going to be texting Alex. I know to follow up with Alex. I know what Alex's goals are because it's in the forefront of my mind. I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of setting goals. You guys, I tend to be someone that likes goals. I'm not afraid of not reaching them because I know they got me further along than if I hadn't done them. But I want to acknowledge that I know that goal setting is very hard for a lot of people. I know it's really, really challenging, and I know it's uncomfortable. A lot of you don't really know what to do to set them, or the fear of not reaching it is going to hold you back from setting the goal at all. But Janie put the strangest secret link into the 20 and 30 page. You guys, I mean, listen to it, watch it. But the basic summary that I'm going to give you in the one-liner here is, if you put a bunch of, sailors out on a boat without direction, what's the likelihood they're going to get to where they want to go? But if they have direction, they have focus, they're probably going to end up to where they need to go. And we're the same way. Eric Worre says, okay, what's the goal that you think you can achieve? Well, now I want you to have the stretch goal, because you might not reach the stretch goal, but you're probably going to exceed the goal that you're comfortable with. So for example, at the Influencer Summit, he said, right now, everybody, this was in December of 2017, write out the income that you want to make in 2018. Write out what you realistically think you can make, what you're pushing for, that you want to achieve and strive for in 2018. So I wrote down $250,000. That's what I wrote. And then he said, now double it. And all of a sudden to write 500,000, I was like, I'm not a 7-star, right? Like, I was like, that's probably not going to happen. But in that moment of like doubt and fear, I said, okay, 250 is pretty safe. Like, that is almost like a shoo-in that that's going to happen. So what if I didn't hit 500? But what if I hit 400? What if I hit 450? What if I hit 375? It's still growing. It's still pushing beyond that upper limit. That's the whole concept of the big leap, if you guys haven't read that book. And so that's this idea of goal setting. And I like to use SMART goals, which stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So if I just say, with Jessica, like she said, I want to max out. I'm like, I'm going to max out. My vision is I'm going to max out. It's probably really ambiguous of what is going to happen. Okay, so what does it mean to max out? Okay, to be specific, 250 cycles. Is that measurable? Yeah. Right? Just maxing out. If you guys didn't know that's 250 cycles, it's not. But once you tell you it's 250 cycles, that's measurable. I know how much volume has to go through both legs in order to cycle 250 times. Is it attainable? What's the time frame? If I say I'm going to max out in January of 2018 and I'm cycling 60 times a week, it's probably not attainable. But if I say I'm going to max out by December of 2018 and I'm going to be in momentum for the next 12 months, it's probably attainable, right? What's realistic? It's kind of in that same time frame. If you got enrolled today, you're probably not maxing out unless you're Janet Kirkpatrick, and even she didn't do it in a year. And then what's the timely fashion? So you guys can do this with your health goals. You can do it with your business goals. Isogenics doesn't say go executive. They say go executive in 6 months. You have 180 days because they know the realistic time frame to use the products, become a raving product fan, share with others, duplicate your systems. That's why you have that time frame. And so just to get really, really clear on this stuff, and the whole reason that you write goals, you guys, is not to set yourself up for failure, and it's not to have a huge party that you did it, but it's to focus on what you're doing. It's going to design your action steps. It's going to get you, to your why. It's going to get you to the whole reason of why you do what you do and why you're on the calls and why you want to make this money and why you're working so hard to serve other people. And so this whole call, whether you're talking about vision boards, we're talking about sticky notes, we're talking about intention statements, we're talking about managing your mindset, weathering your emotions, is all about mindset. And it is the #1 game changer for this industry. And it's probably the easiest and the hardest thing to do. Like, there's nothing that we've taught you that's rocket science, but there's some days you're in the flow and you're like, wow, like everything feels good. It's happening, you're jiving, and one thing can happen and you're down the rabbit hole. And how do you get out of that? How do you not stay there? How do you pump yourself back up? And this is where it's with accountability. It's podcasts, it's books, it's affirmations, it's your goals, it's your vision board. It's everything that you are literally focusing on, because that's going to change your language. It's going to change your physiology. And those two things are going to change your feelings, which is going to change your things, which is going to, change the action. And for so many people, this is the hardest thing, but it really should be the initial thing. It should be something you start your day with and you end your day with. And so I'm going to say one other thing, and then Jess, if you want to add to it, and we'll wrap up. But not only with starting your day, like I start my day with gratitude. I start my day with writing out my intentions. When I was at rock bottom, you guys, I was on an apartment floor, broke as broke. I remember not sleeping in the middle of the night. I'm going to paint this picture for you. I'm 30 years old, okay? I have $17 to my name. My boyfriend just broke my heart, right? I have more pride and ego than anybody to be able to reach out and say, hey guys, I'm $100,000 in debt, making $12 an hour with 2 bachelors and 2 masters. Like, I'm sucking at life. I mean, you can imagine the negative self-talk that was happening. And I went from living in a quiet neighborhood to I was living on the intersection of Lincoln and I-25, which is a major intersection in Denver. There's street racing in the middle of the night. A brand new hospital had just gone up. So sirens are going off every single night. I'm wide awake, right? I cannot sleep for the life of me. And I was getting more cranky because I wasn't sleeping. And one of the nights that Janie was just blowing up my phone in the middle of the night, in the very, very beginning, she said, tomorrow morning, I want you to write 10 things you're grateful for. And I said, what? She goes, I want you to get up in the morning. I want you to write out 10 things you're grateful for. And I was like, at the time, mad. I'm like, has this lady listened to anything that I've said? And she said, there's always something to be grateful for. Get a journal, get a pretty one tomorrow, start doing this every single day, right? And that morning, I didn't have my pretty little journal yet. I actually typed it on my phone on the notepad. But I remember like writing out, all of a sudden I was like, I'm grateful for all of these jobs. Like some people don't have a single job, and I'm grateful for the abundance of jobs that I have, even though I'm overworked, right? I'm grateful for my family. I was grateful for my friends. I was grateful for my phone. I was grateful for my car. And then I started reading things like The Magic and The Secret. And I started to realize, oh my gosh, I take my health for granted. I work out every day because it's my job, because I had to teach classes. But I was like, what if I didn't have it? And I started getting grateful for my heart and my lungs and my feet and my arms and my brain and things that I never stopped to think, what if I didn't have those things, right? And so starting your day with gratitude is going to lift your energy vibration and how people show up for you. And I write out those intentions and I write out those goals. You guys, I'm writing out right now, I am an 8-star crystal executive, 7-star golden circle with ease. That's like a triple rank advancement for where I am. And I just feel like it's going to happen. That's what I write out every single day. You know, I get clear on what does my team look like? What does that board of directors look like? But then throughout the day, I end it at the very end with the same place I started it, with gratitude. And this is a little bit different, but if you've never read The Magic, it's the sequel to The Secret. It's a 28-day practice of gratitude, but they tell you to get a rock and you write gratitude on it, you know, and you hold it and you just think about everything that was so amazing that day. When this rock is taking on all the energy, right? Because we're all atomic energy. Even if you don't have the rock, you can lay there and just think about it and just feel it. But every single thing that you can be grateful for that day. And this is how I've gotten away from watching TV before bed. It's how I'm able to put my phone away when I lay down. And it literally just like calms my whole body, sitting there thinking every single thing I could be grateful for the day, you know? And tonight when I lay down, I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to be grateful for my amazing yoga class. I'm going to be grateful for the team that even though I'm overwhelmed today, they're in momentum. And so I was able to do all these 3-way calls. You know, I'm grateful that I'm not going to work the next 5 days while I travel, and I'm going to get paid every single day. I'm going to be really grateful for the conversation I had with my leadership thread. I'm going to be really grateful for my boyfriend that puts up with me when I'm a huge pain in the butt, you know, like all of these things. And that's how you end your day. And you are going to have great dreams. You're going to heal your body because you're going to be in an alpha and theta state when you sleep, whatever it may be. But starting and ending your days, if you can really start to bookend your day with gratitude, you'll see shifts in your life. Because what happens is we wake up stressed and with expectations of how it's going to go. And all of a sudden we're already frustrated because we stopped appreciating, because we started expecting things. And at the end, instead of being frustrated on what didn't happen or what you can't change, let go of all the things you're not in control of and find that gratitude again. And just know that you're in the right place at the right time and everything is coming to fruition the way it's supposed to. You're going to really, really find a lot more peace with this, a lot more love with this journey. And you're going to feel like you're enjoying it and you're not like upstream forcing it, trying to make things happen. So if I can encourage you guys anything, in addition to your sticky notes and vision boards, start priming, start doing the gratitude, and start goal setting. It really, really is the driving boat for like your ship in this big, big ocean. So Jess, anything you wanted to bring up?
I think that's awesome. I'll just echo to what you said. It's like if you were in New Jersey and you said, I'd love to go to I've always wanted to go to New York City. The gratitude and attraction statements is the Holland Tunnel. Because did you imagine 200 years ago, wanting to just standing in New Jersey and wishing you could see what is over there in New York City and not having the Holland Tunnel. This is the Holland Tunnel, right? That's it. It's what gets you there. And the other thing I want to tell you guys is you're standing today. You're the 40 people that are on this call. And I want to tell you guys, we're all right now, this is my new puppy, right? This puppy's 8 weeks old. It's a sheepadoodle. My husband just handed him to me and said he's got problems. I got to deal with him. But listen, let me tell you something. With this puppy, he's only 8 pounds right now, but he's going to be between 80 and 90 pounds. He's unstoppable. There's nothing that can stop my puppy from becoming 80 pounds. That's who he was designed to be, right? You were designed for greatness. If you truly step into your power, there's nothing that can stop you from stepping into your greatness. Just like I could wish him to be a lapdog his entire life, right? Here's how big he is. He will become, in 1 year, you'll see him, and he would barely fit on my lap. He'll be 80 to 90 pounds. He'll be a first grader, right? He'll look like my first grader. So what I want to tell you is have the same inability to be stopped, deterred, or slowed in your growth that a puppy has. You guys are puppies. I'm a puppy. And guess what? Nothing can stop us from our greatness. Nothing can stop us from our growth. I hope you have the best week. I'm so fired up. NYKO!
NYKO!
All
That's
right.
what Jessica and I met. This is our friendiversary is NYKO. When we didn't even like each other. When Danny wanted me to be friends with her and I didn't even like her. See? Just kidding. We grew up to be old dog friends.
That's right.
All right, you guys, we love you. Have safe trips. Have safe travels. Stay in momentum. Good night.